Starring me, Grandpa.
And me, his grandson. Hey, Grandpa, what you doing?
Oh, nothing. Just gonna read a book to you.
Starring me, Grandpa.
Okay, if we gotta. Go ahead.
Yes, we have heard of years long vanished, how spear danes struck, sang victory songs, raised from a wasteland, walls of glory. Then shield shuffling, startled his neighbors, measured mead halls, made them his own, since down by the sea swirl, sent from nowhere, the Danes found him, floating with gifts, a strange king child. Shield grew tall then, roamed the waterways, rode through the land, till every strong man, every war leader, sailed the whale paths, sought him with gold. There, knelt to him, that was a king. Time brought to him birth for his people, a gift to the Danes, who had grieved, thrown sorrows, cold and kingless. The keeper of men softened their longing. With Shield's man-child, sunlight in their hearts, to his son the wielder, life lord of men, loaned strength, wisdom, banishing the ache of a barren mead hall. Bew was nimble, his name went traveling, sung far and wide. For the world's kingdom, so should a prince show his heart strength by his father's side. Share gold treasures, forge friend warriors, to fight against darkness in the last winters. Of love and action shall a man prevail. In memory and song, at the hour shaped for him, Shield took his leave, a kingly departure for a king's embrace. They bore their savior back to the sea, his bones unburned, as he bade them to do child to the mist, who chased the morning, loved and led them through long winters. Ready at seashore stood a ring-proud ship, icy and eager, armed for a king. They braced him then once again bright with laughter, shaper of hall songs. From the ship's middle board, hard the mast. From hills and valleys, rings and bracelets were born at the shore. No words have sung of a wealthier grave ship, bright with war weapons, ballasted from gold swords and ringmail, rich for drifting through the foaming tide. Far from that land, the lord was laden, for long sail paths with love and sorrow, splendid with gifts for those who had ferried them. Far through the mist, once sent them a sailor, a strange treasure child. At last they hung high upon the mast, a golden banner, then gave it to the sea for the moan-bounding waves. Their mind grief was great, mood was mourning. Men cannot know, cannot truthfully say, singers of tales, sailors or gleemen, who gathered him in. Then Bew held them, banished war ravens, sailed through the summers, strengthening peace like his father before him, known far abroad, a king to contend with. Time brought a son, high-minded Healfdene, who held his turn through long glory years, a lifeline of Shield. Then 4 strong ones came forth from his queen, woke to the world, warmed the gift hall, Hrothgar and Hrothgar, Helga the good, Iris the fair one, Onella's half-queen, the battle-wise Swedes, bed companion Hrothgar has beckoned, born for a kingdom, shaped as a lord, loved by his half-thanes, who bore him high as boys become men, and men grew mighty. His mind told him to raise a throne house, rarest in Denmark, mightiest mead hall, in measure and strength, the oldest among men, ever had beheld to give freely. What God had provided, share his wealth there, shape borderlands, love and lead them, in light against darkness. Then, as I heard, help came crowding from hills and glens, hewers and timber trimmers and weavers. It towered at last, highest of them all, Hiriot, he named it, who with words wielded the world of the days. Hrothgar was king, kept his promise, gave from his throne gold gifts and peace. Gables were crossed, capped with hornbeams, waiting for hate fire, high anger flames, as yet unknown. So sword swings to clash, not yet that day. For dark throne battle, a blood-minded son, and his bride's father. Then an alien creature, cold wanderer, could no longer endure. For his dark exile, bright bench laughter, borne to the rafters. Each night in the hall, the harp sounded the poet's clear song. He sang that what he knew of man's creation, the measurer's work. He shaped the earth, opened the heavens, rounded the land, locked in the water, and then set skyward. The sun and the moon, lights brighten, the broad earthyard beckoned the ground to bare gardens of limbs and leaves. Life he created of every kind that quickens the earth. They lived brightly on the benches of Heriot, caught up in laughter till a creature brought them fear in the night. An infernal hall guest, Grendel's circle. Sounds of the harp growled the marshes, moors and ice streams, forest and fens. He found his home with misshapen monsters in misery and greed. The shaper banished him, unshriven away. With the kind of Cain, the killer in his blood, a measure fashioned of fitting revenge for the death of Abel, drove his slayer far from mankind, and far from his grace. Cain sired evil, cunning man-killers, banished from heart love, born in hatred, giants and fiends, jealous man-eaters, love without penance. God paid them for that. Then Grendel prowled, appalled in the darkness, a steep, warm hall, to see how the ring-danes are after beer and feasting. Bedded down for rest, he found inside slumbering warriors unready for murder, bereft of remorse, from love exiled, loss and graceless. He growled with envy, glared above them, towering with rage. From the rest he snared 30 haldanes, loped and howling away, gloating with corpses, galloping the moors, back to his cavern for a cold banquet at dawning of the day. Then darkness lifted, Grendel's ravage rose with the sun. The waking Danes wailed to the heavens, a great mourning song. Their mighty ruler, lord of the death hall, leaned to his grief, stooped in shadows, stunned with sane sorrow, bent to the racks of his baneful houseguest. No signs of mercy. His mind was too dark, night fell in his heart. There was no need to wait when the sun swung so low, for the slaughtered again, murdered and feasted, fed through the night mist, damned to darkness, doomed with a curse. It was easy to find those who elsewhere slept, sought distant rest, reached for night cover, found beds and others. When the bad news came, the lightless messages left by that caller, murderous Halthane, men still walking, kept from the shadows, no shame in their hearts, now lone rage ruler, raiding through the night, one against them all, till empty and still stood the long mead hall. Too long it stood. 12 cold winters, wound in despair. The Lord of the Danes dreamed of the lost ones, waited for the sign, and then widely was known in dark Denmark that death lived with them. When weeping heart songs wailed of Grendel, Hrothgar's half-monster, Hell's banquet guest, lashed by hunger, he longed for nightfall. With no pause or pity, poison in his heart, no plans for payment, passed through that mind money or gold gifts, remorse for slaughter. No somber mourners sued for revenge. Death's settlement from the demon's hands. He raged them all, envious hell fiend, with dark death shadow, doomed young and old, trapped and snared them, trailed in nightshade, cloud misted moors. No man can follow where God's enemies glide through the fog. Dawn brought to them blood signs of his rage, outcast from grace. Grendel went prowling the empty hall benches. Heriot received him in cold darkness, damned by his rule, yet he could never greet. The peaceful gift throne, love and bounty, life, joy, and gold, for the old betrayal, outlawed them there. It was long despair. For the Lord of the Danes, a breaking of mind, many a counselor gathered to whisper, groped for messages, ways to escape those woeful night visits. Some made promises, prayed to idols, swore to honor them, asked them for help, safety from murder. Such was their custom, the hope of heathens. Hell thoughts in their minds, they ignored the measurer, maker of heaven, the shaper of glory, stuck to their gods, unable to praise or pray to the Father, wish for his guidance. Woe unto those with ill in their hearts, hopeless and doomed, forcing their souls to the fire's welcome, praying to names that will never help them, praise without hope. Happy are they who seek after death day, the Deemer of men, free of soul bonds. To the Father's embrace with sinking heart, the Son of Halfdane endlessly waited. He wept for an answer, and no hope of relief. Too long and merciless, slaughter and greed, deemed to his people narrow and endless, night bale and tears.
Wait, what? What?
In the home of the Geats, Hagelac's Thane gathered the stories of Grendel's torment. A good man and strong, strongest of all, in that broad kingdom, born for deliverance. Shaped for that hour, he ordered a boat, lithe wave cutter, loudly proclaimed he would seek the battled Danes, sail the wave swells, hail their king there, kindle their hearts. Though they loved him, life-seasoned elders answered their courage, urged him onwards, gazed at the weather, gave heart blessings with care this champion, chose the spearmen, culled from the Geats. Their keenest fighters, good men and faithful, 15 in all. They sought their seacraft, strode to the cliffs, followed their chief to the fallow waves, fast by the headland. Their hard-keeled boat waited for westering. Winding in swirls, the sea met the sand. They stored their weapons, bright shields gleaming, spears and helmets, strong war weapons, shoved through the breakers. Their stout bound wood slid from the land. They flew on the water, fast by the wind-blown sail flecked with foam, swam with bird wing. Through day and darkness, dawn graved the sky, and the hour grew near, when over the wave tops, rising of land, reached towards the sun shining sea cliffs, steep rock pillars bound with shore sand. The sail grew limp, shallows lapped at them, leaped to the sand. The weather geese waited, walked their ship up lashed to the land, linked steel corsets, linked and glistened. They gave thanks then to the God of them all for guiding them safely, watching above them. The warden the shores glimpsed the cliff top, a glinting of armor as they bore from their boat bright shields and spears, rich with war weapons. He wrenched with thoughts, groped within his hand, within his mind, who these men might be. He roused his horse then, rode to the seashore. Hrothgar's cliff guardian heaved up his spear, shook it to the sky, and spoke with his question. Who might you be, in your burnished mailcoats shining with weapons? Who steered this warboat, deep-running keel, across the wave swells? Here against this shore, I assure you now, I've held this guard post, hard against sailors, watched over Denmark, down through the years, that no hateful ship hand might harbor unfought. Never these boatmen beached more openly, shield-bearing thanes, unsure of your welcome, hoisting no signal, to hail peace tokens, friendship to the Danes. I thought I've challenged a loftier shieldman than your leader here. Hail in this war gear, no longer that worthied with weapons. May his wilt not believe so, handsome a swordsman. I will heat quickly, first where you came from, before you move on your possible pirates, pushing further into Danish land. Now let me advise you, horseless sailors, hear my counsel, my heartfelt words. Haste will be lost in letting me know. The land you came from, the ablest among them, answered him clearly, lifted up his spear, unlocked his word hoard. We are mindful of manners, men of the Geats, Lord Hygelac's hearth companions. My father wandered far through this world, earned his way there. Yrthgau, by name, survived many winters, wartime and peace, with age still wearied him. He won many battles, named by Northmen. In nations abroad,
Now he have come here, with kind intentions to seek out our Lord, son of Halfdane, victor of men, advise us well. We hear our Lord, leader of the Danes, a helpful message. We hold no secrets now that we are here. You know it is true, stories told us, sorrowful tales, evil in Denmark, some demon or giant, a devilish creature, who in darkness of light roams in the moon paths, murder in his heart, hell's messenger. To Hrothgar I offer words to consider. Serious counsel how this wise ruler may win over the death days, if an end to sorrows. Ever will come forth a taming of torment, time for revenge, a healing of heartbreak in this helpless land, unless this happens, as long as he rules darkness and blood grief, will doom his people, banished forever from the best of halls. A coast guard replied, proud horse soldier, no fear of his words. No way or another, a sharp warden can weigh carefully words and intentions. If he's worthy in thought, I've heard your speech, heart strong, fealty, to the Lord of the Danes. I'll lead you now with spears and helmets to the hall above. I'll tell my companions to tend with your ship. Guard carefully against all comers. This newly tarred vessel, nestled in sand, to hold it in trust till the time comes round when homeward it bears. The best among you bring back alive, beloved warriors. On this wing-proud ship, riding foam waves back to the weather gates, wandering for news. They marched forward then, mounted the headland, left of their keel ship, lashed to the beach anchor, roped to the sand. Around their mast helmets, golden boar heads beamed to the sun, flashed a war gleam. On fire-hardened steel, signal their weapons. They walked strong, stepping, crest the seawall, till they saw the glinting of their timber-strong hull. Trim bright with gold, tall horn gables, towering in the sun, high to the heavens, Hrothgar's gift house. Its light shone forth over the land, the sea. A coast guard paused, pulled his horse round, hefted the spear. Towards the hall beyond, stopped by the road, ready for their footsteps. Paused for a moment. These parting words, fare you well now. May the Father Almighty hold you from harm. Help them this moment, teach you the way. I turned to the sea and back to the beaches, bastions of Denmark. The cobblestone road ran on before them as they marched together. These mail coats glistened, laced by smith hands, linked steel jackers, clinked and armor strong. As they came to the hall, strode in their war gear, straight to the door. They settled broad shields, right against the wall. Rode and hardened by ringing forge hammers, they bent to the benches, breastcoats in rows, life-guarding corselets, they leaned ash spears ranked by the door. Reaching above them gray-tipped tree limbs, Geats rested there, wealthy by weapons. A warrior came forth, eager with news words, asked who they were, from where have you thought these broad-rimmed shields, gray gleaming mailcoats, good masked helmets, such a heap of armor. I am Hrothgar's counselor and friend. How far have you traveled, crossed the wave rolls to come to this door? My wits tell me you are welcome callers in full friendship, no fugitives within you. A chief of the Geats gave him an answer, tall and helmeted, taught him with words the meaning of his men. We are mighty Hygelacs, board companions. Beowulf is my name. Beowulf. I have come to greet your great people, King, to tell your Danelord tidings of hope. Explain to your king, if he plans to receive us, why we sailed westward to this splendid mead hall. Wulfgar replied, watchful Northman, son of the Wendels, wearing the strength, no hurry in mind, I will hail my chief, mournful of murder, will give him your name, since you sailed this far. To share this heart grief, I will step to the heat's tie set, stand before him, bear his answer, back to you here. Gray gleaming mailcoats, good mask helmets, such a heap of armor. I am Hrothgar's counselor and friend. How far have you traveled, across the wave rolls, to come to this door? My wits tell me you are welcome callers in full friendship, no fugitives with you. The chief of the Geats gave him an answer, tall and helmeted, taught him with words the meaning of his men. We are mighty Hygelacs board companions. Beowulf is my name. I have come to greet your great people king, to tell you, your Danelord, tidings of hope. Explain to your king, if he plans to receive us, why we sailed westward to this splendid mead hall. Wulfgar replied, watchful Northman, son of the Wendels, wearing their strength, no hurry in his mind, I will hail my chief, mournful of murder. Mix words with him, greet the gift throne. Give him thy name, since you sailed this far. To share this heart grief, I will step to the high seat, stand before him, bear his answer, back to you here. He entered the hall, where Hrothgar sorrowed. Gray in his mind thoughts, grief cloaking him, strode to the gift throne, stepped before him, skilled of the customs of kings of the north. Wulfgar spoke then, words mixed with light. Here we are strangers, hailing from far, sailing the Gulf streams from Geatish country. The greatest among them as I gauge the man, is known as Beowulf. They bring hope tidings, wish to share words, wait peacefully to greet you, my lord. Do not leave them there. But give them welcome, glad man Hrothgar. Their weapons shine, steel-bore helmets gleaming with gold. Their Geatish king is a prosperous man, a mighty ruler, Hrothgar answered. Helm of the Danes, I knew their chieftain, a child long ago. His father was Ethgro, who found his wife in the hall of the Geats, where Hrethdel gave him his only daughter. The day his son has come to find me, a friend of his youth, sailors have told me, sea messengers fearing gifts from the Gotland to Denmark, with thankful tokens that this tall grappler can grind as strongly in the grip of his hand as 30 war Danes. That means he's as strong as 30 dudes. I dare to imagine relief from Grendel. For this great mercy I promise him now. Priceless heirlooms make haste, my friend. Fetch them in here, all of them together, to greet all of us. Tell them clearly that they come as lamplight to darkness of Heriot. To the door he turned, Wulfgar the Windle, wove them a speech. My lord has told me, my beloved Hearth King, chief of the East Danes, that he honors your kin. You have come in time. The tide has brought you like welling waves. Welcome to his heart. Come forth with me in your corselets of steel, your hard mask helmets, where Hrothgar awaits you. Leave your shield boards, your spears by thy benches, until you have traded, talk with my lord. Some remained there, stayed by their weapons, held them from harm. Their hero rose them, until him, his thanes, ready for orders, they walked together. Wulfgar before them, under Heriot's roof, helmets gleaming, stood at the hearth, hard by the gift throne. Beowulf spoke then, burnished mailcoat, work under wondersmiths, winkling in firelight. Hail to you, Hrothgar! I am Heligaglak's thane, nephew, kin, and friend. I have known such peril, grim death dangers, Grendel's ravages, came to my ears. In my own homeland, sailors have said, this is a strong mead hall with high gold gables. This hall of the heart stands empty and idle. When evening light fades, the dark sky lowers, the light thins to gray. My people have urged me, elders and youth, best of the weather geats, brothers of my heart, to cross the gulf way, come straight to you, offer to you my strength, stand by your side. They saw for themselves, as I surfaced from ambush, broke through waves, to the winds of sunrise, how I crushed water sprites, cracked their blood teeth, though them by night, fought them by night, in narrow dark waters on the sandy ground. Grendel is next. I will settle alone this sorrowful feud, this baneful business. I beg of you now, Lord of the Green Danes, royal man leader, a small favor gift. This foreign, from sovereign to friend, do not refuse me. Now that I am here, come from afar, to cancel your problem, I and my men, no more this war band, will cleanse your Heriot, cleanse out this evil. Also, I have also heard that this hellish monster with careless strength carries no weapons. I will therefore swear, in honor of Hygelac, to keep my protector. Proud in his heart, I bear no sword blade, no shield to that fight, no boar's head helmet. With my hand grip only, I will fight this fiend. Find his life core, a man against monster. Tomorrow I will find as rising of light the ruler's judgment. If this demon wins, no doubt he will banquet on bodies of Geats. Gorge with all of us, swill and swallow. Snatch our lives away, munch on our bones. Do not mourn for me, or search for my head. In shadows of defeat, if he cracks my bones, bends my deathwards, hauls me away, hoping to taste me, slash me to my morsels. With murder in his heart, staining the moors, do not sorrow for long for my lifeless body, lost and devoured, but held, but sent to Hygelac. If struggles take me, the best of battle shrouds, breast protector, greatest of corslets, good Hrathgel's gift, Wetland's hand smithing, Weird is determined. Hrothgar answered, Helm of the Danes, Beowulf, my friend, you have brought me from home, a gesture of honor. Joining with us now, your father once caused the cruelest of feuds, his hands emptied, Heathlow's lifeblood, a man of the Wilfingus, a Weathergeat, then dared not hold him. From the harm he caused, from there he sought the South Danes' country. Over angry waves, the winds delivered him. I first ruled them, the realm of my people, held in my youth, a young kingdom, homeland of the Danes. Hrothgar was dead, my older brother, born of Halfdane, born to the grave. He was better than me. I managed that feud, fixed it with payment, sent to the Halfingas, sailors and gifts, saved your good father with fine peace tokens. It wounds me to say, weary and mourning, aching with grief, how Grendel comes calling, each twilight in Heriot, tortures us all with night-black murders. My men are fewer, some carried away. Weird was swept them into Grendel's grasp. God could easily stem his heart sickness, swept it away. Often with my half-thanes, heart strong with beer hold in their ale cups, boasted in firelight, that they would linger, lie in waiting for Grendel's ravaging, ready for the sword swings. Blech. Then with this mead hall, this morning's raven call, dark with their doom, as the day shoved forth, benches and bolsters, black with battle gore, half rafters red stained, Heriot grew cold. Then strong-hearted warriors were snatched into the night, but sit now to banquet. bear us good news. Tell us good tidings in time as you wish. Benches were barred, the beer hall made roomy, geats were gathered, together with all. They were stern-hearted, settled by fire, welcome and ready. The warden of ale cups brought to their hands. Their bright hall drink tended to their needs. At times the minstrel touched the harpstrings. They were happy together, a great band of them. Geats with Danes. Ouch. Oh. Then up spoke Unferth, Eglaf's sword son, held up his station. At Hrothgar's feet, unwound battle runes, Beowulf's errand, boasting of sea strength, burned in his heart, never would he grant greater adventures of sea on land to sailors of half thanes than he had survived. Hail, sword champion, are you that Beowulf with Breca swam on the broad sea swell, struggling together proud wave wrestlers, wagering our lives with reckless boasting, risking our praise, deep water death? Not one counselor, friend or enemy, could force you to cancel that sorrowful swim, shipless wanderers rowing with their hands, reaching the salt swells, measuring the sea road, with stroking arms embracing the ocean, broad water fields wintering with waves. You worked with your folly. With 7 nightfalls he swam you there, stronger than you. The sea at dawning heaved. Whoa, I gotta change the record.
God damn it.
Stronger than you at sea dawning, heaving him ashore at Hrothgar's Remus ground, beloved country, land of the Brobdingas, proud timber hall. His people waited, their son of Bean Stan beat you at swimming, bettered your boasting, brave sea warrior. Now I expect, proud though you swagger, brave at battle rush, bragging as you go, a grimmer contest with with Grendel there. If you dare sleep now in this darkened hall, Beowulf answered, Ithro's son, Unferth my friend, you find much to say, eased with beer cups, all about Breca and his seafaring ways. I say to you now, I was greater in swim strength, gliding through the waves, swifter at arm strokes than my swim companion. We boasted together, boys, eagering young in judgment, yearning for renown, game for water wolves, that we would gamble lives against the sea. Loud ocean winds with naked swords, we slash through the waves, ready with war blades. For wandering whales, dark sea monsters, no swifter than me could Brecca swim there. I stayed beside him, unwilling to leave him, alone against all. Through 5 nightfalls we floated and then swam in the ice-hard waves till an angry sea flood broke out amongst us. Blackening sky and freezing north winds forced us apart. Towering salt swells struck between us. Strange sea creatures surfaced amongst us. A mail coat I wore, woven with gold, hard and hand-locked, held me from death, laced with wondersmiths, linked shroud cover to the deep sea floor. Something pulled me, a hard grip fingers, hauled me to sand with grappling tight claws. It was granted to me to reach this devil, rush him to sleep with hard sword point, swift blade slashing, strong in my hand, hauled him deathwards. Then more came at me, many a water sprite, sea-going demons. I served them all with quick sword thrusts, sent them to hell. They missed their supper, sea-bottom banquets squatting on the sand, serving their hunger with my tasty corpse. Tasty corpse. Cold ocean feast by the sea dawn's light, lapped with sea foam rolled by the waves. They rested on the beach, sleeping by sword swings. The sail path was cleared, sun-bright waterways, washed of their blood, light from the east, lifted from storm clouds. God's bright beacon, burnished at sea, looming headlands, learned high above, wind scoured cliff walls, weird open spares, an undoomed man. When his wind strength prevails, with sword's edges, I sent him to death. 9 I sent into death, 9 sea monsters. Never have I heard a single harder struggle. Under heaven's archway, a riskier night. In narrow ocean streams, from dark water death, waves bore me up, weary of swimming. The sea lifted me, led me to shore. In the land of Finns, I have never heard tales of yourself, terrible sword play. Swimming through the night with gnashing sea demons, never has Brecca fought through darkness. In deep waterways, and you were never known for such deeds. Nothing to brag of, renowned as you are, for killing your brothers, bringing them down, your own blood kin. You'll answer for that, wandering in hell. Through your wit be strong, though your wit be strong. I'll say one thing, son of Etlaf, never would Grendel grieve all of you, mangling your hearts with murder in Hyria. Torture our Lord. In this tame mead hall, if your courage held strong as you claim it does, Grendel has learned through long winters no need to bother with brave shield dames, no interruptions of his nightly visits. He takes what he needs, no one stopping him, finds no contest. With cowering Danes, snares and slashes, safe in Harriet owning you all. But I will show him sooner than he knows a new kind of battle with men of the Geats. On the morning after, when southern sunlight shines on this hall, we will lift our mead cups to merciful peace, bright bench laughter, banishing our grief. Mind-weary Hrothgar, murder-gray king heard in those words. Hard promises, news of deliverance, from long heartbreak found in Beowulf. Fair morning thoughts, laughter and song leapt to the rafters, warm welcome words, and her Wealthbrow come forth, folk queen of the Danes, daughter of Helmingus, Hrothgar's bedmate. She hailed all of them, spoke of peace words, stepped to a gift throne, fetched to her king, the first ale cup, warmed his mind chill, wished darkness away from the tall high seat. He took from her hands a gleaming cupful, gave her thanks. Through the high mead hall went Hrothgar's queen, offering hall joy to old and to young, with rich treasure cups. Time brought her where Beowulf sat. She bore him a cup with gold gleaming hands, held it before him, graciously greeted the Geats' war leader, gave thanks to God for granting her will, faith, and mercy. A man to believe in, hope from abroad. He held the mead cup high in his hands, hailed the queen, there brought to Hrothgar. Battle-weary words Beowulf spoke, son of Egeflau. I swore to myself that I sailed from home, mounted my ship with my men around me, that I alone would ease your heart grief, settle this feud here, or fall backwards in Grendel's grasp. I'll give you his lifeblood, deliver you his fiend soul, or finish my days here in Heriot's high treasure hall. Ouch. His words were welcome to Hrothgar's heart, this bountiful boast, then back with her lord, their proud folk queen, found her station, cheers from the benches, chased night shadows, strong warrior songs, soared through the hall, rose to the rafters, till ready for sleep, Halfdane's son, heavy with thane grief, yearned for evening rest, years that taught him that Grendel roamed, raging with envy, Heriots in his mind. From the moment that sunrise flushed through the sky, till final nightshade, dark with shadow shapes, slid across the meadows, claiming the night sky. Hall feasters rose, their weary war king wished that Beowulf, lock in the night, left him with the gift throne. That great mead hall gave him farewell. Never have I offered to any other man from this first moment. I found shield strength in this hall of the Danes, house of our nation. Have now and hold these havoc-stained walls. Remember our strength. Stand against darkness with luck and courage. You will lack for nothing if you risk this nightfall. and rise with the sun. He left the hall then, Halfdane's son, lord of the Shield Danes, beloved treasure king, went to his bed rest. Wealhtheow beside him, strong comfort with his queen. The knight of glory, the king of glory, granted them for that night a guard against hell death, a strong hall warden, holding his darkness, a keen house watch for the king of Heriot. The Geats champion gathered his courage, matched against evil. The measure of strength he stripped of his armor, steel meshed mailcoat, gilded mask helmet, gold-handled sword set them aside to serve him elsewhere. Rich war weapons, wondersmith's handiwork, he kindled their courage with keen boast words as they bent to bed rest. In the best of halls, no meaner am I in mortal combat, grim hand wrestling than Grendel himself. I will not send him to sleep with my blade, carve out his life, though I can easily. He has learned nothing of linden shields and swords, fighting with armor, fearless though he may be in dark thane murder. On his dangerous night, we will have no sword play. If he seeks me here, no clear weapon fight. Then the wise Deemer will decide between us. The shaper of us all will measure us both. Bring judgment here, bring judgment here. He bent to his bolster. Beowulf the Great put his head to rest. Around his battle friends, stout-hearted sailors, settled him down to sleep. No one believed him. They would leave Heriot, take ship once more, seek out their homeland, the known meadows of their native country. Too many stories of that tall wine hall emptied of Danes by dark night slaughter had found their ears. But the father of men wove them battle speed. Weather Geats prevailed, reprieved of hate death, hailed to victory by the strength of one, saved from farewell. With a tight hand grip, it truly is known that God manages men of earth.